Hey y'all, it's Crystal from ChristaCoDesign. Today we're making the Mura hat, which is an adult size hat. And you'll need 60 yards of Lion Brand's Woolies Thick and Quick, the number 6 bulky yarn. And we're doing two needle sizes, 9mm for the ribbing, and then we'll change to 10mm for the hat body. You'll likely need an extra long cable for magic loop. I kind of get away with it here on my 20-inch cables, but for proper magic loop, you'll need a little bit longer, 32 to 40 inch. And mostly we'll need that for the last couple of rounds of decreases. Okay, we're going to start with a slip knot. Slide that on our needle. Again, we're starting with a 9mm, so with your smaller needles. And I'm using a long tail cast on here to cast on 42 stitches. You can use any cast on method you like. And if you need to change the stitch count, we're working with a stitch multiple of 7. So that means you can add or subtract in 7s to my stitch count. So cast on 42 and then we'll get started. I've cast on my 42 stitches, so now I'm going to join in the round. I'll make sure that my working yarn, the yarn that's attached to my needle, is coming from my right hand needle. And then this other one is my tail. I'm just going to get that out of the way. Spread your stitches around your needle. And I'm going to place a stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round. We're working in 1x1 rib here, so I'm just going to knit the first stitch on my left hand needle. And that effectively joins my round. There we are joined. Now I'm going to move the yarn forward and purl the next one. And that's my repeat. Knit 1, purl 1 for the full round. Just finishing up my last stitches here. That's a purl. I'm going to knit and then purl in the last. Be careful with that last one. That's our tail there from our cast on. Slide that stitch marker for every round over to the right needle. And now we're just going to stack our stitches. Keep stacking them. Knit 1, purl 1. If you're looking at a knit, knit it. If you're looking at a purl, purl it. Keep repeating the rib pattern. Knit 1, purl 1 for 6 rounds or until your ribbing's about 2 inches tall. And then we're going to change our needles and work on the hat body. Okay, my ribbing is ready. I'm going to change to my larger needles, and I'm using interchangeables. So I just slide it out and use my little key here to unscrew the needle that's on there. And then I will screw on the larger size needle and tighten it with the key as well. Okay, now that we have our needle sizes changed out, we're going to start our hat body here. So we have an 8 round repeat, this section here that we're going to repeat 2 times. And our first round 1 is just a knit all. You'll knit every stitch around. Okay, we're finishing up our last couple of knit stitches here for round 1. Slide that stitch marker over and we're ready for round 2. We'll knit the first one and then purl the next 6 stitches. And that'll be your repeat around. Knit 1, purl 6. Keep repeating that for this entire round. Finishing up my last purl stitches here on my round 2 knit 1 purl 6 round. Slide the stitch marker, and for round 3 we're just going to knit all again. One nice thing about this repeat is that every other round we're just knitting the stitches. Okay, finishing up round 3, just knitting this last stitch, slide my stitch marker, and for round 4 we'll knit the first 3. Then we'll start our repeat, which is to purl 2, and then knit the next 5. You'll repeat that around, purl 2, knit 5, until you have 4 stitches left. Okay, we're at our last 4 stitches of round 4, so we will purl the next 2 and knit the last 2 stitches. And for round 5, we are just going to knit all. Now round 6 is going to be a repeat of round 2, which is our knit 1, purl 6 round. So we'll knit the first one, purl the next 6, and then just keep repeating that all the way around. Okay, round 7, knit all. And for round 8, we're going to knit all. Okay, once you complete round 8, then you're going to repeat rounds 1 through 8 again. So you're going to do this section one more time, and then we're going to do a decrease round section. Okay, I've made my 2 repeats of rounds 1 through 8 total. Now I'm ready to decrease my crown. For round 1, I'm going to knit the first 3. Then I'm going to knit 2 together. Just going to take a minute to mark my first round of this decrease section here. So we're knitting 2 together. And then I'm going to knit the next 5. Then that's my repeat. Knit 2 together, knit the next 5 until we have 4 stitches left. All right, at the end of my first round for the decrease crown section, these are the last 4 stitches, so I will knit 2 together and then knit 2. And that completes round 1. We'll have 36 stitches. Slip my stitch marker, and for round 2, I'm going to knit 1 and then purl 5. And that will be my repeat around. For round 3, we are just going to knit all for the 3rd round of the decrease crown. Okay, for round 4, we're going to knit 4 and then knit 2 together, and that will be our repeat around. On my last knit 2 together for round 4, and that'll leave me with 30 stitches. And for round 5, we're going to knit all. For round 6, we're going to knit 1 and then purl 4, and that will be a repeat around. As we continue here, you may find that you need the longer cables to do the magic loop as you get fewer and fewer stitches. For round 7, we're going to knit 1, then knit 2 together, knit the next 3, and that's your repeat around. Knit 2 together, knit 3, until you have 4 stitches left. When I have those 4 stitches left, I'll knit 2 together and then knit the last 2 stitches. This leaves us with 24 stitches after round 7. Round 8, we'll knit the first 2 stitches and then knit 2 together. And we'll keep repeating that around, knit 2 together. We're ending round 8 with 18 stitches. For round 9, we're going to knit 1 and then knit 2 together, and we'll repeat that around. Okay, so now I just have 12 stitches on the top here. I'm going to cut a long length and thread that onto my yarn needle. I will weave the yarn needle through my live stitches that are still on my circular needles here. Okay, once all my live stitches are through my yarn needle here and on my length of yarn, I'm going to pull my hole closed at the top of my hat, and then I will sew it closed. Now would be a great time to add a pom-pom if you want to do that. Just going to go through my stitches here in the same direction so I can pull it nice and tight, and then I can go back and forth, up, down, weave in like normal to make sure that I get a nice secure close and join there.